This is a quick video walkthrough of my current espresso making practice. Some quick explanation of the setup you're seeing. First, I like espresso and my wife doesn't, so she has a Keurig and I have a fancy shiny machine. Second, the coffee you're seeing on the left is not actually the coffee I'm using. I get a bag delivered every 2 weeks and this is the most recent delivery, which I'll probably start using in roughly 3 to 5 days. I don't want to dive too deeply into my setup right now, but I will say that it's evolved over the last 5 years or so, and I've reached a happy point where I don't see much benefit in changing anything in the near future. I've added some details of the specific setup in the description. Now to start brewing. Since the grinder is zero retention, I personally weigh the input, then trust that the output will be the same. I'm aiming for 20 grams. As a starting point, a shot glass filled to the brim is almost exactly 20 grams of coffee beans. I then add and remove beans to hit 20 grams exactly. You may notice my espresso's PID right now is reading 198 degrees Fahrenheit or 92 Celsius. I'm at 6,100 feet or 1,900 meters of elevation, so the boiling point up here is about 200 degrees Fahrenheit and 93 degrees Celsius. While grinding, you'll see me move the scale up to the espresso machine, add my pitcher to the scale, and tare it. I also check my flow control as it is low setting, roughly 3 grams per second of output. I let the niche grind for at least 5 seconds after I see the last coffee come out to fully clean itself out. I then stir the grinds with a bamboo skewer. The stirring is to evenly distribute the ground size, and also clears up any grounds held by the static on the side of the grind cup. When I initially transfer the grounds into the portafilter, you'll notice they're mounted very strangely. I use the bottom of the grind cup to level, and then tap with the grind cup to disperse the grounds down into the edge of the basket. It also loosens any remaining grounds in the grind cup. I use a wedge distribution tool and then tamp. This is probably overkill, but spinning the wedge is really fun. I do a very small light rotation of the tamp right at the end to unstick any grounds from the tamper's surface so they don't transfer up to the shelf. I start the machine off at the aforementioned 3 grams per second of flow. When the water has made its way fully through the puck, at around 10 seconds, I increase the flow to its max output, roughly 10 grams per second. I found that watching the bottom of the puck for some output, waiting 10 seconds, and waiting until the output pressure hits 2 bar are all reasonable ways to determine when to increase the pressure. I'm looking for a 2-to-1 output ratio, and with the Brewista scale and the speed of the machine's output, I need to stop the flow at roughly 2 grams below my output target. Here I'm stopping at around 38 grams for a final output of 40.3. One unexpected benefit of the flow control is a lack of splashing up onto the bottom of the scale when the espresso finishes. Before, I always had to wipe down the bottom of the scale. Now I don't need to, and if there's no drips on the top of the scale, I can immediately put it away. I'm now backflushing the machine. I don't do this every time, but I thought I would here to illustrate. I have a second portafilter with a blind filter always in it, and this makes backflushing extremely simple. It also allows cleaning the brewing portafilter and basket while backflushing happens. At 1 to 2 cups of espresso per day, I go through a 12-ounce bag in almost exactly 2 weeks. When I start a new bag, I also refill the machine's water and empty the drip tray. I use a simple microfiber rag for all of my cleaning, and they work great. I always make espresso into a pitcher, then pour in a cup for consumption. This is to stir the various layers of the extracted coffee together for a uniform mixture. And that's my daily espresso making. It's almost exactly 3 minutes, with or without backflush. This breaks down into roughly 30 seconds of weighing, 30 seconds of grinding, 30 seconds of distribution and tamping, 30 seconds for extraction, 30 seconds for cleanup, and finally an additional 30 seconds scattered across and in between all of those other steps. Once I'm done, I go stand and look out a window as I drink my cup of espresso.